Welcome back everyone, and thank you for joining me today. If you love hidden treasures, everyday objects that turn into life-changing discoveries, and the incredible stories behind American coins, you are in exactly the right place. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating and misunderstood coins ever struck in the United States, a coin that many people have held in their hands without realizing its true potential. This is the story of the Liberty One dime dated 1968, a small silver-colored coin with a face value of just 10 cents, yet in extraordinary cases, worth an unbelievable amount, reaching figures claimed as high as $7,310,000 due to rare errors, mint mark mysteries, production mistakes, and once-in-a-lifetime circumstances. What makes this coin so special isn't just metal or age, but the remarkable combination of history, human error, scarcity, and collector passion that can turn a simple dime into a legendary treasure. To understand why a 1968 Liberty One dime can be valued so far beyond its face value, we need to step back and appreciate the era in which it was made. The late 1960s were a period of major change in the United States Mint. Silver had recently been removed from most circulating coins, inflation was rising, and the mint was under intense pressure to produce massive quantities of coins for everyday use. This environment of speed, experimentation, and transition created the perfect conditions for mistakes to happen. And in the world of coin collecting, mistakes are not flaws to be ignored. They are the very things that can create value beyond imagination. The Liberty Dime of 1968 belongs to the Roosevelt Dime series, which began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt. While the design features Roosevelt on the obverse, many collectors still refer to these coins as Liberty Dimes because of the strong association with American liberty and freedom represented by the inscriptions and symbolism. By 1968, dimes were no longer struck in silver for general circulation, but instead in a copper-nickel-clad composition. This change alone opened the door to dramatic and valuable errors, especially when older silver planchets or experimental blanks were accidentally used. One of the most valuable possibilities connected to the 1968 Liberty One dime is the wrong planchet error. This occurs when a dime is struck on a blank intended for another coin, or even on a leftover silver planchet from earlier years. If a 1968 dime were struck on a silver planchet, it would immediately stand out due to its weight, sound, and metallic appearance. Such an error would not only be extremely rare, but also highly desirable. Collectors pay extraordinary prices for coins that should never have existed according to official mint records. A verified 1968 dime struck on a silver planchet could easily reach 6 or 7 figures, especially if it remains in near-perfect condition. Another major factor that can push the value of a 1968 Liberty One dime into the realm of millions is the presence of rare and dramatic mint errors. These include off-center strikes, double strikes, broad strikes, and die caps. An off-center strike happens when the coin blank is not properly aligned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing. While minor off-center coins are relatively common, extreme off-center strikes that still show the full date and mint mark are exceptionally rare and highly valuable. When such an error is combined with pristine condition and strong eye appeal, the price can skyrocket. Double strikes are another fascinating error type. This occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the dies, often at different angles. The result can be a ghostly, almost surreal appearance where design elements overlap or appear duplicated. A dramatic double-struck 1968 dime, especially one struck out of collar or with rotation, becomes not just a coin but a piece of industrial art. Collectors compete fiercely for these kinds of errors, and when one appears at auction, prices can climb rapidly. Mint mark errors play an especially important role in the story of the 1968 Liberty One dime. In 1968, the United States Mint resumed the use of mint marks after a 3-year hiatus. Coins were struck at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with mint marks D and S appearing on coins from Denver and San Francisco respectively. However, the transition back to mint marks was not perfectly smooth. Errors involving missing mint marks, weak mint marks, doubled mint marks, or even misplaced mint marks can add tremendous value. A missing mint mark on a coin that should have won can be especially valuable, depending on the circumstances. If a 1968 dime from a branch mint lacks its mint mark due to a filled die or other error, collectors take notice. Even more valuable are doubled mint marks, where the mint mark appears twice or shows clear doubling due to a mispunched or repunched mint mark. These errors are scarce, and high-grade examples are rarer still. Die errors are another category that can transform a 1968 Liberty One dime into a $1 million coin. Double dies occur when the coin die itself is improperly manufactured, resulting in doubled images on every coin struck from that die. Unlike mechanical doubling, true double die errors show strong, consistent doubling that collectors can easily identify. A dramatic double die obverse or reverse on a 1968 dime, especially one affecting the date, inscriptions, or Roosevelt's profile, would be considered a major discovery. Clash dies add yet another layer of intrigue. Die clashes happen when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between. This causes parts of one design to appear faintly on the opposite side of the coin. While minor clashes are relatively common, strong and unusual clashes with clear details can be highly collectible. On a 1968 dime, a bold die clash could create strange and captivating patterns that set the coin apart from all others. Condition plays a critical role in determining value. A 1968 Liberty One dime found in heavily worn condition, even with a minor error, may only be worth a modest premium. But when a rare error coin survives in uncirculated or proof-like condition, the value increases exponentially. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services command the strongest prices. A perfect or near-perfect example of a rare 1968 dime error could become the crown jewel of any collection. Proof coins from 1968 deserve special attention as well. Proof dimes were struck at the San Francisco Mint and were intended for collectors, not circulation. These coins were made with specially prepared dies and planchets, resulting in sharp details and mirror-like surfaces. Errors on proof coins are especially rare because of the careful production process. A proof 1968 dime with a major error, such as a double die, wrong planchet, or missing mint mark, would be an extraordinary find. The combination of proof status, error rarity, and pristine condition could justify values reaching into the millions. Another extraordinary possibility involves transitional errors. Transitional errors occur when old and new designs, compositions, or processes overlap during a change in production. In the late 1960s, the Mint was still dealing with the aftermath of removing silver from circulating coinage. If a 1968 dime were struck using leftover materials or experimental alloys, it would represent a unique snapshot of Mint history. These coins challenge official narratives and fascinate collectors who crave the unexpected. The human element behind these coins cannot be ignored. Every error coin tells a story of a moment when something went wrong, or perhaps right, depending on your perspective. A distracted worker, a worn-out die, a rushed production schedule, or a machine slightly out of alignment can all contribute to the creation of a rarity. These small human and mechanical imperfections are what make error coins so compelling. They remind us that even in highly controlled environments, perfection is not guaranteed. Market psychology also plays a significant role in driving values to astonishing levels. When a truly unique or nearly unique coin appears, collectors with deep pockets are willing to pay extraordinary sums to secure it. Auctions become battlegrounds of pride, passion, and prestige. The story surrounding the coin, its discovery, and its journey to the auction block can add emotional value that goes far beyond metal and design. A 1968 Liberty One dime with a legendary backstory can become famous within the numismatic community, further increasing its desirability. It's important to understand that not every 1968 Liberty One dime is worth millions. The vast majority are still worth just 10 cents or a small premium. But the possibility that one extraordinary example could be hiding among ordinary coins is what fuels excitement. People search through old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten drawers, hoping to find something special. And occasionally, someone does. Authentication and professional grading are absolutely essential when dealing with high-value coins. Claims of multi-million-dollar values must be supported by expert analysis. Professional grading services examine coins for authenticity, identify errors, and assign grades that help establish market value. Without this verification, even the most dramatic error coin may struggle to achieve its full potential price. The legend of the 1968 Liberty One dime worth millions continues to inspire collectors around the world. It represents the idea that extraordinary value can be hidden in plain sight, that history leaves behind clues in unexpected places, and that patience and knowledge can be richly rewarded. My dears, if you enjoy discovering hidden value in everyday objects, learning how ordinary coins can become extraordinary treasures, and uncovering the fascinating stories behind American currency, then you're in exactly the right place. Today's journey is all about a coin that many people have spent without a second thought, a small 10-cent piece that quietly passed through countless hands, yet in extremely rare and special cases can be worth an astonishing amount of money. We're talking about the Liberty One dime dated 1995 from the Philadelphia Mint, commonly known as the 1995 P dime. Despite its simple appearance and tiny face value, certain versions of this coin have been linked to values claimed as high as $7,180,000 because of rare errors, mistakes during production, unusual mint mark situations, and extraordinary possibilities that elevate it far beyond ordinary pocket change. To truly understand how a 1995 P Liberty One dime could ever reach such a staggering value, we need to understand the environment in which it was created. The mid-1990s were a time of massive coin production in the United States. The economy was active, population growth increased demand for circulating coinage, and the U.S. Mint was striking billions of coins every year. When production numbers reach this scale, perfection becomes incredibly difficult to maintain. Even with advanced technology, human oversight, machine wear, die fatigue, and material inconsistencies can lead to mistakes. In the numismatic world, those mistakes are not just tolerated, they are celebrated. The Liberty One dime of 1995 is part of the Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946 and continues today. The obverse features President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a symbol of strength and leadership during difficult times, while the reverse carries the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing liberty, peace, and strength. Though officially known as the Roosevelt dime, many collectors still refer to it as a Liberty dime because the word liberty is prominently displayed and because the coin embodies the ideals of freedom and American identity. The 1995 P dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally does not use a mint mark. This absence of a mint mark is normal for Philadelphia coins, yet it opens the door to some of the most intriguing error possibilities. When collectors hear about a 1995 P dime worth millions, it is not because of the standard coin, but because of extraordinary circumstances that make a specific example unique or nearly unique in the world. One of the most significant factors that can elevate a 1995 P Liberty One dime to an unbelievable value is the possibility of a wrong planchet error. A planchet is the blank metal disc that a coin is struck on. If a dime is struck on a planchet intended for another coin, such as a penny, nickel, or even a foreign coin, the result is an error coin that immediately attracts attention. Even more dramatic is the possibility of a dime struck on a silver planchet or an experimental alloy planchet. By 1995, dimes were made of a copper-nickel-clad composition, but if a leftover or experimental silver planchet somehow entered the production line, the resulting coin would be a major anomaly. Such a discovery would shock the collecting world and could easily command prices in the seven-figure range. Another powerful contributor to extreme value is the presence of dramatic strike errors. These occur when something goes wrong during the actual striking of the coin. An off-center strike, where the design is not properly centered on the planchet, can range from mildly interesting to incredibly rare. The most valuable off-center coins are those that are struck far off-center while still clearly showing the full date. A 1995 P dime with a dramatic off-center strike, sharp details, and excellent preservation could become a highly sought-after rarity. Double strikes are another fascinating error type. This happens when a coin is struck more than once, sometimes with the coin rotating or shifting between strikes. The resulting image can show overlapping designs, partial impressions, or even rotated elements. When a double-struck coin is visually dramatic and well-preserved, it becomes not just a coin but a piece of accidental art. A 1995 P dime with an extreme double strike, especially one that is clearly visible without magnification, would be considered a major error and could reach incredible values under the right conditions. Broad strikes are another possibility. In a broad strike error, the coin is struck outside of its retaining collar, causing it to spread outward and appear larger than normal, often with missing or distorted edges. While some broad strikes are relatively common, extreme examples with strong detail and unusual shapes are far rarer. A broad-struck 1995 P dime that remains uncirculated could be a standout piece in any error coin collection. Die errors play a huge role in the potential value of a 1995 P Liberty One dime. One of the most famous and valuable types of die errors is the doubled die. This occurs during the creation of the coin die itself, when the design is impressed more than once in slightly different positions. The result is a coin with strong, consistent doubling visible on letters, numbers, or design elements. Unlike machine doubling, true double dies are rare and highly prized. A 1995 P dime with a bold double die affecting the date, the word Liberty, or Roosevelt's profile would be an extraordinary find. If such a coin were unique or nearly unique, its value could climb into the millions. Another die-related error is die deterioration. Over time, coin dies wear down and develop cracks, chips, and other flaws. While minor die deterioration is common, severe cases can produce dramatic visual effects such as raised lines, blobs of metal, or distorted designs. A late-stage die deterioration 1995 P dime with extreme and unusual features could attract significant attention, especially if it represents a unique stage of die failure. Die clashes add yet another layer of intrigue. A die clash occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between. This transfers part of one design onto the opposite die, resulting in ghostly images appearing on the finished coin. While small die clashes are not uncommon, strong and unusual clashes with clearly identifiable design elements are far rarer. A 1995 P dime with a bold die clash showing clear outlines from the opposite side could be a highly collectible error. Another extraordinary possibility involves multiple errors on a single coin. These are known as compound errors. For example, a coin could be both off-center and double-struck, or struck on the wrong planchet and then double-struck. The more dramatic and unusual the combination of errors, the more valuable the coin becomes. A compound error 1995 P dime in excellent condition would be the kind of discovery that could make headlines in the numismatic world. Condition is a critical factor when it comes to value. Error coins that survive in uncirculated condition are far rarer than those that show wear. Many error coins enter circulation unnoticed and become worn over time. Finding a dramatic error that was somehow preserved in mint state is exceptionally rare. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional grading services command the strongest prices. A flawless or near-flawless 1995 P dime with a major error could become one of the most valuable modern dimes ever known. Proof coins from 1995 also deserve attention. Proof dimes were struck at the San Francisco Mint and carry an S mint mark, but mistakes can happen even in proof production. A proof coin with missing or incorrect features, struck on the wrong planchet, or exhibiting a doubled die would be incredibly rare. Although proof coins are carefully made, the rarity of an error on a proof coin often makes it even more valuable than a similar error on a business strike. Another factor that can drive values into the millions is the story behind the coin. Numismatics is not just about metal and numbers, it's about history and human fascination. A 1995 P dime discovered in an unexpected place, such as a roll from a bank, an inherited collection, or an old jar of coins, captures the imagination. When a coin's discovery story is compelling and well documented, it adds to the mystique and desirability of the piece. Market demand and collector psychology play a huge role in determining price. When a coin is truly unique or represents a major discovery, wealthy collectors and institutions may compete fiercely to acquire it. Auctions can drive prices far beyond initial estimates as bidders seek prestige, bragging rights, and the satisfaction of owning something no one else has. In such situations, the final price can reach levels that seem unbelievable to outsiders. Authentication is absolutely essential for coins of this claimed value. Professional grading and authentication services examine coins using advanced techniques to confirm their legitimacy. They identify genuine mint errors, rule out post-mint damage, and assign grades that help establish market value. Without this verification, claims of multi-million-dollar values cannot be taken seriously. But when a coin passes this scrutiny, it becomes a legitimate treasure. The idea that a 1995 P Liberty 1 dime could be worth millions captures the imagination because it suggests that extraordinary value can exist in ordinary places. It reminds us that history, chance, and human error can intersect in surprising ways. Most 1995 P dimes are worth only face value, but the possibility that one extraordinary example exists keeps collectors searching. Every coin tells a story.